question about animals, are animals in heaven? We'd say, okay, which heaven? Are they in the present heaven where we go to when we die if we know Jesus? Well, interestingly, there are a few passages that seem to suggest the answer is yes. For instance, consider the passage in 2 Kings 6 where you have Elisha and you have his servant open his eyes, and there you see angels, and there are chariots, and there are horses.
Yeah.
Furthermore, we are told that when Christ will return to the earth before the resurrection, before the new earth, the people of God will be riding horses out of heaven. Well, are those horses figurative horses? It seems like they're real horses. I mean, when you see them described in Revelation, and then you could start saying, well, if there are horses, why would there not be other animals? I mean, is there something unique about horses? So now that's explicit scripture. But with the animal question, let's just ask logically. God created an earth, okay? Who did he put on that earth? What did he put on that earth? Well, the second most important creation that he made was animals. People were the most important. And you notice how it builds up in reverse. It starts here, and then you get vegetation, and then you get animals, and then you get people. So it's like God is working up to the climax of his creation, human beings created in his image. What's the first responsibility that is given to human beings? To care for animals. Adam's supposed to name the animals, and he's supposed to take charge of them and care for them, having dominion over the earth, but first and foremost, having dominion over animals. Then, after the flood, you've got Genesis 9, and you have God saying to Noah, I'm making a covenant with you and all people, and then 3 times he says, I am making a covenant with all living creatures, the animals of the sea, the animals of the land, and the animals of the air. And this is an eternal covenant that involves all kinds of promises that have long-term implications, and God makes a point emphatically 3 times, says this covenant is not just with human beings, it's with animals. All right, now logically extend that to Romans 8 where it says the whole creation groans in suffering, in a longing for the redemption that will come with the resurrection of the children of God. Well, who besides human beings is suffering? Animals. I mean, when it says the whole creation, you could say, well, that includes maybe more than animals, but it certainly at least includes animals. John Wesley had a marvelous sermon on this subject of animals that I quote from several times in the Heaven book because it was just so powerful. But he spent a lot of his life on horseback, and he loved animals, and he just loved, you know, the wonders of God that are revealed in the animal kingdom. And he took Romans 8, and he applied Romans 8, as I think it properly should be applied, to a promise that one day animals that live on this earth will experience a release from their suffering, and they will be part of the joy of the resurrected realm. Then finally, you get, there are a lot of other passages too, but you finally get to Revelation 21 and 22, and you have a new earth. Now, it doesn't get into a lot of detail about who and what is on the new earth. It doesn't make specific allusions to animals. It doesn't have to. Specific allusions are made in numbers of other places, especially Isaiah 60. But when you think what constitutes earth and God's program for earth and God's purpose for earth, and if he's going to restore the earth, remember all those words, redeem, restore, renew, if he's going to restore all that, then the question becomes, why would he not restore animals? Is God going to say, you know, I really made a mistake. That first time I made those animals, bad choice. I think I've gained more wisdom as time has gone on, and I think this time when I make a new earth, I'll put people on it, yeah, I'll put water going through, and yeah, there'll be trees, and there'll be mountains, all of which are specifically mentioned, but you know what, I'm not going to make animals this time, big mistake. I'm going to ignore the covenant that I made, the everlasting covenant, and you know, no, God doesn't make mistakes. God doesn't have to rethink it. He did it right the first time.